quickly, this is just a little speed round, if you worked with Tim Monick. Okay, thank you. If you did, were listening to the Gruen tapes. Okay. If you had letters from Bernstein, that you learned from, paid attention to, read any letters from him. Okay, not for Bradley. Oh, yeah, yes, Bradley. Okay.
You were taking a long time. I was waiting for you to finish that thought.
Okay, all right. Great, thanks. If you got to know the Bernstein, you can do that and have your brain going on all these different levels at the same time. Were you aware? What was your plain old director plus actor process? Let's just start there. Go for it. Ready, go.
Okay, so Alias. For real. I think I always was obsessed with the...
He was always obsessed. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna.
No, you go. You do.
You guys, he's talked so much. Isn't it a relief? He was always obsessed, and I honestly, we would be doing a scene, and I would see he would clock, and I would be able to tell if he liked what I was doing or not. I mean, he would come in and watch, on days where he wasn't working, he would go straight to the editing bay and pour over take after take after take of scenes he had nothing to do with, and then come in the middle. You're wound up.
I didn't know anybody in LA, so I just... No, but I was obsessed with it. And J.J. Abrams, we're talking about Alias, a television show that I was lucky enough to be on, that she started back in 2001. And
Not according to your mom, but yeah.
That's right, I was a star. For 2 seasons, yeah. They came back for an episode. And yeah, I mean, I think the truth is I didn't dream big enough when I was a kid. I didn't give myself permission. But the movies that I grew up, movies defined who I was. I can mark periods of my life by the movies that affected me. And then I always wanted to be a part of that storytelling, but I didn't give myself permission really to dream big enough to make movies. I just thought, maybe I could act in them, but it was really David Lynch as much as it was Anthony Hopkins and John Hurt and The Elephant Man that moved me. So it's just the way I'm wired, really. And so to be able to do this now and show you is...
Between, and you want to introduce your new girlfriend, the love to the real love of your life. And it's just this moment that really encapsulates so much of the relationships in this movie. It's like devotion, calm, family, against animal longing, passion. Because the look you have on your face when you see Matt, David, it's like a look that we're chasing the rest of the movie. And that connection between the two of you is so important, and you killed it. Because every step of the way, even when Lenny was with other men, you knew where he belonged. You knew where his heart was. And that's just incredible. So congratulations.
And I have to say that, we had to convey all that in a very short bit of real estate in the movie. And again, what a gift to have these actors. And, from the first time when he does introduce them, and I said early on, we're just going to stay. We're just going to stay. We didn't even shoot Lenny. I just wanted to hear Lenny say, was that insensitive of me? I guess, and we're just on David. And because I could only do that as a filmmaker because of the actors, and just staying on him and his face in that moment when he introduces them and they walk away, and what a gift for a filmmaker.
Well, while I'm talking about the two of you, you guys shoot for a long time together.
I'll take this one. When Shirley first brings Felicia to meet her brother at the party, it's kind of like I'm showing Felicia, like, look what I have, that's all she has. It's like she
watched you write the script for literally years with Josh. Take Josh. Josh would come on vacation. He would show up here. He would show up there. You guys worked forever. And at the same time, you were consuming music. And you were consuming conductors of music. And it was like you were pouring it in. Were you working, from what I saw, you weren't working with a conducting coach early on. You just were absorbing it. And then when the time came, you could do it. Is that right? Well, was there a step that I missed in there?
It's all sort of together. I mean, it was it all was sort of happening at the same time, investigating what the movie could be, figuring out what it is, then starting to write it, and at the same time knowing that there would be these sort of gigantic mountains I was going to have to eventually climb. Luckily, I had 6 years to prep to climb them. But no, Gustavo Dudamel, who is the music director of the LA Philharmonic, well, yes, who I just showed today at my house. He just saw it this morning, which it was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. So I knew early on that the Mahler's Second Symphony, The Resurrection, which is what we conducted in Ely Cathedral live, that was really 6 minutes and 21 seconds of music. And so I spent from first rehearsal all the way to the final performance when he did that with the LA Philharmonic at the Hollywood Bowl. And 2.5 years later, I went with him to Berlin and spent 2 weeks with him with the Berlin Philharmonic, where he did the exact same piece. And then there's also I got the raw footage. Lenny did that in that cathedral with the London Symphony Orchestra in the 70s, and I had him conducting that. And then Yannick Seguin, who is the music director of the Philadelphia Orchestra, and also the music director of the Met Opera in New York, he was also a major component and was there on set when we had to do those scenes. And then he also made videos, and he helped keep time and all of that. And I just did everything I absolutely could. I also spent years at the New York Philharmonic, opened the doors. I would go there 3 or 4 nights a week, every week. I just absolutely, Michael Tilson Thomas was a great influence, and spent a lot of time. And he took some of the little parts of the movie that are in there are stories that he told me. And Jaap also was the music director of the New York Philharmonic. I could go on and on. Yeah, I just did a lot of work.
That is so evident. Yeah, that was really good. Okay. Hang on. Oh, Bradley, there was a moment. Okay, when you're talking to Jamie, but not Leah, Maya Hawk. Maya Hawk is Jamie, right? Talk about just bringing a fresh energy and this is a new generation. You see all of that. It was the second she comes on the screen. Every single person is crystal clear in my mind. And that is fantastic casting, and it's fantastic writing, but it's also you. I can really picture, you had Scott Ellis up there. You had Brian Kluckman up there. You had your doctor in there. I was like, oh, it was like an Easter egg hunt for me. Oh, you're giving me lights. Is that the 10-minute, or is that been done a long time? I can't see it.
1 minute, one single
Oh,
minute.
that's a wrap it up. Okay, then I am going to talk about this. And then I have you don't move a muscle, but your eyes change. It's almost like they change color, right, guys?
Yeah.
Was that crazy?
Yep.
That was insane. I know, I'm supposed to be asking you a question, instead I'm just telling you something.
No, that was a crazy scene. Because in terms of asking the question of to balance the writing, directing, acting thing, because we really felt like we were channeling them. That was the first time where he's doing something against his nature. He's not a deceitful person, which was sort of what I was intrigued by this dynamic. He wasn't deceitful, she wasn't a victim. They went into this knowing exactly the truth, and then it was bearing the results of that agreement. And in that moment, when he's deciding to abide by his wife's wishes, and then his daughter is saying, I'm relieved, and then he's thinking, oh fuck, I don't really want to teach my daughter this. And in that moment, it felt so strong in me that I really was gonna tell her the truth. I literally thought in this scene, fuck it, I have to tell her. And then I started to think, and that's why I kept it in, because I just found it so fascinating. Because really what I'm thinking is, okay, I gotta tell her. If I tell her, that's gonna change the script. And okay, he tells her here, she's pissed. I gotta call Josh, we gotta write the scene where Felicia can't believe he told her the whole, and then literally, and you see my head, he just does that, and then I'm like, fuck it, I can't do that. We don't have enough budget to do all that, we can't reshoot. Okay, let's go. That's actually what's happened.